Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads, and we're finally going to finish Aesop's Fables. The Boy and the Nuts. A boy, seeing a pitcher full of walnuts, thrust his hand in to get some. He grasped as many as he could and he tried to pull out his hand, but his fist was so bulging with walnuts that he could not get it out of the pitcher. Unwilling to give up any of the walnuts, the boy burst into tears. A bystander saw him crying and said, "If you'll be satisfied with fewer nuts, you'll be able to get your hand free. It is better to be content with half than to lose all." The Boy Who Swam in the River. One warm spring day, a boy was walking along the bank of a river, the water looking so inviting that he took off his clothes and dived in. But the river current was very strong, and soon the boy was in danger of drowning. Just then a traveler came by. He saw the boy struggling and began to scold him for going swimming in the nearby river so early in the season. "Oh, sir," cried the boy, "pray help me now and scold me afterwards. At a time like this, advice without action is useless." The Frogs Who Desired a King. The frogs were happy all day playing in their marshy swamp. They splashed and jumped without a care in the world. One day, a few of the frogs began to think there was something wrong with their easy way of life. They said, "We should have a king, then he would tell us what to do." The frogs made this request of Jupiter. He laughed at them and said, "Very well, you sillies, here is your king." And he threw down a log. At first, the frogs were terrified at the great splash the log made, and they hid among the tall rushes. Then one by one they swam up to it, touched it, and climbed on it, and jumped up and down to their heart's content. "This king does not move," the frogs complained to Jupiter. "We want a real king, one who will really rule over us." Jupiter was angered at the stupidity of the frogs. "Very well, I will send you a king who does move." And then he sent a stork, who at once began gobbling of the frogs. "Save Jupiter!" cried the frogs, as they tried to escape the stork. "No," Jupiter said scornfully, "you'll have to make the best of what you asked for, since you were not content to leave well enough alone." The Goose with the Golden Eggs. One morning, a farmer was astonished to discover that his goose had laid an egg of solid gold. He seized the precious egg, ran to the house, and with a trembling hand showed it to his wife. "Look, my wife," he said, "we are rich." Then the farmer took the golden egg to the market and sold it for a good price. The next morning, the goose again had laid a golden egg, and the farmer too sold it for much money. Every day thereafter, the farmer found in the barnyard an egg of purest gold. One by one he sold the eggs, and soon he became a very rich man. But the richer he became, the more money he wanted. One day he thought, "Why must I be content with only one golden egg a day? If I kill the goose and cut her open, I can take all the treasure at once." Whereupon he seized his axe and killed the goose, but alas, there was no gold inside. "Foolish man," cried his wife, "if only you had understood that those who are greedy for too much sometimes lose all." The Wolf and the Crane. Once when a wolf was eating supper, a bone stuck in his throat. Almost choking to death, the wolf begged a crane to put her head down his throat and draw out a bone. "I will reward you generously," the wolf promised. It took the crane only a few minutes to pull out the bone, but when he asked for the reward, the wolf laughed at him. "Were you not able to pull out your head safely out of my jaw? Is that not payment enough?" "I should have known," thought the crane, as he flew off. "When one serves the wicked, one should expect no reward." The Rooster and the Jewel. One day, a hungry rooster was scratching for food in the dirt. Suddenly his claws dug into something hard, and there on the ground he saw a glittering jewel. "Ah," sighed the rooster, "how happy the owner would have been had he found the jewel. He would have picked it up eagerly and prized it greatly. But alas, I found this jewel has no purpose, for I would rather have one kernel of corn than all the jewels in the world. Truly, what has value for one is worthless to another." The Gnat and the Bull. A gnat settled on the horn of a bull and sat there a long time. Then he buzzed into the ear of the bull and said, "Pardon me, but has my weight been a burden to you? You have only to say so, and I will fly away and bother you any longer." "Oh," the bull said, "to tell the truth, I did not even know you were there. So it is all the same to me whether or not you go or stay. You know, we are not as always important as we think we are." The Oak and the Reeds. A large oak was uprooted one day by violent winds of a hurricane. The great tree was thrown into the stream, where it lay amid some reeds. Sadly, the oak said, "Here I lie, overturned by the strong winds. Yet your reeds, so light and weak, are still upright. How is that possible?" "You, sir, oak, fight against the mighty wind," the reeds replied. "You are too proud to bend a little, and so in the end you were destroyed. But we bow before the gentlest breeze, and so we still stand. We have to learn what you have not. It is far better to bend than to break." The Monkey and the Dolphin. A sailor, embarking on a voyage to Greece, took along a monkey to amuse him on board. Off the coast of Greece, near Athens, a violent storm arose. Angry waves beat against the ship, and it dashed to pieces. The sailor, his monkey, and all the crew jumped into the sea and swam for their lives. A dolphin saw the monkey struggling in the water, came to his assistance, and swam with the monkey on his back toward the shore. The dolphin, thinking the monkey was a man, asked, "Are you, sir, an Athenian?" "I certainly am," the monkey replied, "and furthermore, I am descended from one of the noblest families of Athens." "Then, of course, you know Piraeus," the dolphin said. The monkey did not know that Piraeus was the famous harbor of Athens. "Oh, yes," he said, "I know Piraeus very well. He is one of my closest friends." The dolphin was so angered at these lies that he dove into the water and swam away, leaving the monkey to flounder helplessly to the sea. Then he called back to the monkey, "Those who tell falsehood sooner or later find themselves in deep water." The Lioness. The beasts of the field and forest were arguing as to which of the animals produced the greatest number of young ones. Just then a lioness passed by. The beasts stopped her and said, "We are trying to find who among us has the most offspring. Pray, tell us, madam, how many cubs are born to you at a time?" The lioness smiled and answered, "Only one, but remember, he is a lion. Value is in worth, not in number." Okay, that's the end of Aesop's Fables. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.